My child, listen carefully. This is not a message meant for everyone. This is an ultimate message, reserved only for a soul like yours, and if you are hearing these words right now, it is not by accident. Something greater than you can see has aligned this very moment. Do not dismiss this. Do not scroll away. Because what is happening right now carries a weight your spirit has been sensing for a long time. You may not fully understand why you paused here, why your eyes stopped, why your heart feels slightly different in this moment, but deep inside, something is stirring. That is not coincidence. That is not random. That is the quiet pull of something divine reaching for you, calling you closer, asking for your attention before it is too late to notice. My child, this message was not placed in front of the crowd. It was placed in front of you. Out of all the noise, all the distractions, all the endless moments you could have been lost in, you were guided here. And you must ask yourself, why now? Why this moment? Why you? Because something in your life has reached a point where it can no longer continue the same way. Something inside you has been crying silently, tired, confused, overwhelmed, carrying emotions you haven't even been able to put into words. You've been holding it together on the outside, while inside, you feel like you're slowly breaking under the weight of everything. And still you kept going. But now, this moment is interrupting that cycle. This is not just another message you can ignore and move past. This is a line being drawn in your life. A moment where something is trying to reach you before you drift any further away from what was meant for you. You may have felt lost, disconnected, unsure of what direction to take next, and even question whether anyone truly sees what you're going through. But I see you. I have always seen you. And right now I need you to listen more closely than you ever have before. Because this message, this exact moment, was reserved for you for a reason. Something is about to shift. And if you ignore this, you may delay what was meant to find you now. So stay here, my child. Do not move. Do not look away. Because what comes next is something your heart has been waiting for, even if you didn't realize it. Stop right here, my child. Do not scroll past this moment. I need you to pause, even if everything around you is pulling for your attention. I need you to stay with me right now, because what is about to be revealed is not something you can afford to miss. This is not just another passing second in your day. This is not something you can come back to later and expect it to feel the same. This moment carries a weight, and it is meant for you. I know how quickly you move through things. I know how often you tell yourself, I'll come back to this later, and then later never comes. I have seen you brush past moments that were meant to reach you, simply because your mind was too full, your heart too tired, your spirit too overwhelmed to stop and receive. But this is different. You feel it, don't you? There is something about this moment that feels heavier, quieter, more serious than everything else around you. Do not ignore that feeling. My child, I am asking you to give me your full attention right now. Not half of it. Not distracted listening while your mind wanders somewhere else. I need you fully present, because something important is being placed before you. Something that has been trying to reach you for a long time is finally breaking through the noise. You have been surrounded by distractions, noise, pressure, responsibilities, expectations. They have been pulling you in every direction until you barely had space to hear your own thoughts, let alone feel what your spirit has been trying to tell you. And in the middle of all that, you started drifting. Not on purpose, not because you wanted to, but because you were tired. Because carrying everything alone began to weigh heavier than you expected. And slowly you stopped pausing. You stopped listening. You stopped noticing the moments that were trying to reach you. But not this time. This time, I am asking you clearly, stay. Stay in this moment. Do not rush past it. Do not treat this like something small or ordinary, because it is not. This moment has been aligned with precision. Every second that led you here, every choice, every delay, every redirection has brought you to this exact point where you are now being asked to stop and listen. Because what you are about to hear concerns you more deeply than you realize. You may feel the urge to move on. You may feel your mind trying to pull you away, telling you this is just another message, just another voice, just another moment that does not require your full attention. But that is exactly how important things are missed. That is exactly how life-changing moments slip by unnoticed. And I will not let that happen to you right now. So I am speaking to you directly, firmly, with urgency that you cannot ignore. Stay here. Breathe for a moment. Let everything else fade, even if just for now. Because this is not about everything else. This is about you. This is about where you are right now, what you have been carrying, what you have been feeling but not fully facing, and what is about to unfold in your life if you choose to truly listen. My child, I need you to understand this clearly. You were not brought here casually. This is not random timing. This is not something you can postpone without consequence. There are moments in your life that pass quietly, and then there are moments like this, moments that carry direction, clarity, and truth, meant to shift something deep within you. This is one of those moments. And if you walk away now, if you choose distraction over attention, if you silence what your spirit is trying to recognize, you may delay something that has already been waiting for you to receive it. So stay with me. Do not move forward yet. Do not look away. Because what comes next is exactly what your heart needs to hear, even if you don't fully understand it yet. My child, I see what you have been carrying, even the things you have never spoken out loud. I see the weight that sits quietly on your heart, the kind that no one else notices because you've learned how to hide it so well. You smile when you need to, you show up when you have to, but deep inside you have been feeling exhausted in ways that rest alone cannot fix. You have been confused, haven't you? Wondering why things feel so heavy, why your thoughts won't settle, why even in moments that should feel peaceful, something inside you still feels unsettled. You have asked questions you didn't have answers to. You have looked around at your life and quietly wondered if you are on the right path or if you have somehow drifted too far without realizing it. And in those quiet moments when everything slows down just enough, you feel it. That loneliness. Not just being alone, but feeling like no one truly understands what is happening inside you. Feeling like even when you try to explain it, the words fall short. So you stop explaining. You started carrying it silently, hoping it would pass, hoping things would somehow become clear on their own. But instead it became heavier. My child, I know how tired you have become. Not just physically tired, but soul tired. The kind of exhaustion that comes from holding everything together for too long without release. The kind of fatigue that builds when you keep pushing forward, even when part of you is asking for a moment to stop, to breathe, to be understood. You have been strong for so long, but strength without rest becomes a burden, and you have been carrying that burden quietly. I saw the moments when you felt like giving up even if you didn't say it out loud. I saw the times when your mind was racing, when your heart felt heavy, when you questioned whether things would ever truly change. I saw the nights when you couldn't fully relax, when your thoughts kept circling back to the same worries, the same fears, the same unanswered questions. You tried to ignore it. You tried to distract yourself. You told yourself to keep going. But deep inside you knew something wasn't right. My child, you were never meant to carry all of this alone. You were never meant to keep everything inside, pretending it doesn't affect you. The confusion you feel, the pressure, the quiet ache in your chest, it all comes from trying to hold too much without allowing yourself to be supported, to be guided. to be understood. And I know why you pulled back. You have been hurt before. You have trusted before and felt disappointed. You have hoped for things that didn't happen the way you expected. And slowly, without even realizing it, you started protecting yourself. You started keeping things in, building walls, not because you wanted to, but because you didn't want to feel that kind of pain again. So you carried everything on your own. But my child, that is why it feels so heavy. That is why your heart feels tired. That is why your spirit feels restless. Because you were never meant to do this alone. I have been watching you through all of it. Every silent struggle, every hidden tear, every moment where you felt like no one truly saw what you were going through, I saw it. I never turned away. Even when you felt distant, even when you felt disconnected, I was still there, closer than you realized. And right now in this moment, I need you to understand something deeply. You are not alone in what you are feeling. You are not lost beyond direction. You are not too far gone to find clarity again. What you are feeling right now, the confusion, the exhaustion, the loneliness, it is not the end of your story. It is a signal that something inside you is ready for change. A signal that you cannot keep going the same way anymore. And that is exactly why this moment found you. My child, listen closely, because what you have been through was never meaningless, even though it felt that way while you were living it. I know there were moments when you questioned everything, when you looked at your past and wondered why things had to unfold the way they did. The delays, the disappointments, the doors that closed without explanation, it left you confused, even hurt. But you must understand this now. What you saw as setbacks were not meant to destroy you. They were protecting you, shaping you, preparing something inside you that you could not yet see. That delay you struggled to accept, it was not rejection. It was protection. There were paths you wanted to walk down, opportunities you thought were right for you, but you could not see what was waiting further ahead. I saw it. I knew where those roads would lead, and I could not allow you to step into something that would have drained you, broken you, or taken you further away from what was truly meant for you. So I slowed things down, even when it frustrated you, even when it made you question yourself, even when it made you feel like you were being left behind. My child, you were never being left behind. You were being held back for the right moment. And that loss you experienced, the one that left a deep mark on your heart, you thought it was the end of something important. You thought it was something you needed, something you couldn't replace. But what you didn't realize was that it was creating space. Space for something better aligned, something healthier, something that would not carry the same weight or pain. I know it hurt. I know it took time to even begin to understand. But that pain had purpose. It softened parts of you that had become guarded. It revealed truths you needed to see. It showed you what truly matters and what does not. And those moments where everything felt uncertain, when you didn't know what direction to take, when it felt like clarity was just out of reach, those were not moments of abandonment. Those were moments of refinement. You were being shaped in silence. You were learning patience even when you didn't want to. You were building strength even when you felt weak. You were being prepared to carry something greater than what you had known before. My child, nothing you went through was wasted. Not a single tear. Not a single moment of confusion. Not a single night where you felt lost. It was all part of a process that was quietly leading you to this exact moment. You thought you were just surviving, but you were becoming stronger, becoming wiser, becoming more aware, becoming ready. Even the times you felt like you failed, those moments taught you something essential. They showed you where you needed to grow, where you needed to shift, where you needed to see things differently. Failure was never meant to define you. It was meant to refine you. And now when you look back, you may start to see it differently. The timing, the redirections, the things that didn't work out, the people who left, the plans that changed. It was not chaos. It was alignment. You were being guided, even when it didn't feel like it. And I know there were times when you felt alone in it all. Times when you wished things made more sense, when you wanted clear answers instead of silence. But even in that silence, things were moving. Pieces were shifting. Paths were being redirected in ways you could not yet understand. My child, your past was not working against you, and was working for you. Every moment was building toward something, and that something is now beginning to unfold. So do not carry your past as a burden anymore. Do not look at it as proof that things won't work out. Look at it as preparation. Because everything you have been through has brought you here. And here is where things begin to change. My child, something is shifting and you can feel it, even if you cannot fully explain it. There has been a quiet change building beneath the surface of your life. Something subtle at first, almost unnoticeable, but now it is growing stronger. This is not your imagination. This is not just emotion. This is a real moment of transition, and you are standing right in the middle of it. Time is not as open as you think. You have been moving through life, believing there will always be another moment, another chance, another opportunity to pause, to reflect, to realign. But I need you to understand this clearly. Not every moment carries the same weight. Some moments pass quietly, while others determine the direction of everything that follows. This is one of those moments. You cannot afford to ignore this. You cannot afford to treat this like something you will come back to later. Because what is unfolding right now requires your awareness, your attention, your presence. My child, there are things approaching in your life that will require a different version of you, a stronger, clearer, more grounded version of you. And if you continue the same patterns, the same distractions, the same avoidance of what you feel deep inside, you may find yourself unprepared for what is ahead. This is not to create fear, this is to awaken you, because you have been sensing it. That pressure, that restlessness, that feeling that something is about to change. You tried to ignore it. You tried to distract yourself from it. But it keeps returning, stronger each time. That is because something is coming, something that will shift the way you see your life, your path, and your purpose. And you are being called to pay attention before it fully arrives. My child, there have already been signs, moments where you felt a pull to slow down, to think deeper, to question the direction you are moving in. Moments where something inside you said, "This cannot continue the same way." But you brushed it aside because life felt easier when you stayed in motion, when you avoided looking too closely at what needed to change. But now that is no longer an option. The more you ignore it, the stronger it becomes. The more you delay it, the heavier it feels. Because this is not something meant to be postponed. This is something meant to be faced. Right now, there are doors that are beginning to shift around you, opportunities that are aligning, but also paths that are closing. And if you are not aware, if you are not present, you may miss what is opening while holding on to what is already meant to end. My child, I am warning you with love, do not stay where you are out of comfort or fear. Do not continue habits, thoughts, or patterns that you know are no longer serving you. Because what is ahead requires clarity, not confusion, strength, not exhaustion, awareness, not distraction. And right now you are being given a chance to realign before that moment fully arrives. This is your moment to listen. This is your moment to wake up to what you have been feeling, but not fully facing. This is your moment to stop running from the deeper truth inside you. Because if you ignore this, if you turn away now, you may find yourself repeating cycles that were meant to end here. And I do not want that for you. You have come too far. You had endured too much. You have grown more than you realize. But growth requires action. Awareness requires response. And this moment requires your decision. My child, something is coming. Something that will not wait for you to be ready. That is why you are being called now before it fully arrives. Do not ignore this. Do not silence what your spirit is trying to show you. Because what happens next depends on what you choose to do with this moment. My child, this moment right now is not like the others you have passed through. There is something different about it, something deeper, something more intentional than anything you have recently experienced. You were not just led here to listen, you were brought here to decide. This is not a passive moment. This is an active one. This is where something within you is being asked to respond, not later, not someday, but now. This is your turning point. Not tomorrow when you feel more prepared. Not when everything finally makes sense. Not when fear disappears. Now, everything you have felt leading up to this, the confusion that wouldn't leave, the exhaustion that kept building, the quiet inner voice you kept pushing aside, it has all been guiding you here. This is the place where everything begins to shift, but only if you recognize it for what it truly is. You have asked for clarity, even if you didn't use words. You have longed for direction, even if you tried to ignore it. You have desired change, even if part of you feared it. And now you are standing in the answer. But answers require awareness. Change requires participation. And direction requires surrender. My child, you were brought here because something inside you is ready, even if another part of you feels uncertain, hesitant, or afraid. The tension you feel right now, that inner pull between staying the same and stepping forward, that is the exact space where transformation begins. Do not run from it. Do not silence it. Because this moment is aligned in a way you cannot fully see yet. Everything around you may look the same. Your responsibilities, your routine, your environment, nothing may appear different on the surface. But something within you is no longer the same. That is why this moment feels heavier. That is why your attention was drawn here. That is why your heart is reacting, even if your mind is still trying to catch up. You are no longer meant to live the same way. You are no longer meant to ignore what you feel. You are no longer meant to carry everything without awareness. This is where drifting ends and choosing begins. My child, I need you to see this clearly. You are not here by accident. Out of all the distractions, all the noise, all the paths your attention could have taken, you were guided here. That means something. That carries purpose. That carries intention beyond what you can currently understand. This is your moment to become honest with yourself. Not harsh, not judgmental, but honest. Where are you right now truly? What have you been avoiding? What truth has been quietly waiting for you to acknowledge it? Because this is where everything begins to change. Not when life becomes easier. Not when everything aligns perfectly around you. But when you decide to align within yourself. Right now, you are standing at a doorway, not one you can see with your eyes, but one you can feel in your spirit. A doorway between who you have been and who you are becoming. And you cannot stand here forever. You cannot stay between both versions of yourself indefinitely. You must choose to remain where you are or to step into what is waiting. You do not need to have every answer. You do not need to feel completely ready. You do not need to understand every step ahead. You only need to be willing. Willing to listen deeper. Willing to face what you have been avoiding. willing to release what no longer aligns with who you are becoming. Because this moment is not just important, it is defining. Moments like this do not repeat in the same way. They come when your spirit is ready, when your heart is open enough, when your life has reached a point where change is no longer optional. And that is where you are now. You can feel it. That quiet seriousness, that inner awareness, that sense that something meaningful is happening right now. Do not ignore that. Do not move past this too quickly. Because what you hear will shape what comes next. This is your turning point, my child. And this moment matters more than you realize. My child, if you are still here, if you have not turned away, then something has already begun within you. Do not ignore that. Do not dismiss it as just emotion or temporary feeling. What you are sensing right now is the beginning of a shift. Quiet, but powerful. Gentle, but undeniable. This is not the end of your struggle, this is the turning of it. Your breakthrough is already unfolding. Even if your eyes cannot see it yet, even if your circumstances look the same, even if nothing around you has visibly changed, something within you has responded. And that response has opened a door that cannot be closed the same way again. You have been waiting for change, haven't you? Waiting for something to finally move, for something to finally ease the weight you have been carrying. You have asked silently, when will things be different? You have hoped, even when hope felt weak. You have held on, even when your strength felt like it was fading. And now here you are. Not by accident, not by coincidence, but by alignment. My child, hear this clearly, you are not too late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. Everything that has brought you here has been preparing you for this exact moment where your heart becomes open enough to receive what has been waiting for you. There is healing beginning inside you. There is clarity rising within you. There is strength forming in places that once felt weak. You may not feel it fully yet, but it is happening. This is what you have been praying for, even if you didn't realize it. My child, I am already moving in ways you cannot yet see. There are things shifting around you quietly, doors aligning, paths clearing, burdens loosening their hold on you. The heaviness you have carried for so long, it will not remain the same. The confusion that clouded your thoughts, it will begin to lift. The loneliness you felt, it will not define you anymore. But I need something from you now. Not your perfection. Not your strength. Not your ability to understand everything. I need your agreement. Your yes. Your willingness to accept that something is changing. Because your yes is powerful. Your yes is what activates what has already been prepared. Your yes is what allows you to step into what hath been waiting for you. My child, do not let doubt speak louder than this moment. Do not let fear convince you that nothing is happening. The same voice that made you question yourself before will try to rise again. It will tell you this is nothing. It will tell you to move on. It will tell you that change is not real. But you must not listen. Because what is happening right now is real. And it is yours. You have carried enough. You have endured enough. Now it is time for something different to begin. Time for peace to enter where chaos once lived. Time for clarity to rise where confusion once remained. Time for restoration to begin where exhaustion once ruled. This is your moment to receive it. But receiving requires response. So I am calling you now, not softly, not casually, but with purpose. Respond. Do not stay silent. Let your voice declare what your heart is beginning to feel. Type yes if you are ready to step into what is being prepared for you. Type I believe if you feel something shifting inside you. Type amen if you accept that your breakthrough has already begun. Do it with intention. Do it with awareness. Do it as a declaration that you are no longer ignoring what your spirit has been trying to show you. Because this is not just engagement. This is agreement. This is alignment. This is you stepping forward instead of holding back. My child, your response matters more than you realize. Because what comes next will be shaped by the yes you choose in this moment. My child, do not ignore this moment. You have come too far to turn away now. After everything you have felt, everything you have carried, everything that has led you here, this is not the place where you step back into silence again. This is the place where you remain aware, where you stay connected, where you refuse to go back to the version of yourself that ignored what your heart was trying to say. Because something has already started, and once it begins it cannot be undone the same way. My child, I am with you even now, in this very moment, as you sit with these words, as your heart processes what it feels, as your mind tries to understand. I am closer than you realize. You are not alone in this. You were never alone in this. Even in your most silent struggles, even in your most confusing moments, I was there. And I am still here. But you must stay connected. Do not walk away from this awareness. Do not let the noise of life pull you back into distraction. Because the same world that made you feel lost will try again to take your attention, to silence this clarity, to make you forget what you are feeling right now. Do not let it. Hold on to this moment. Protect it. Return to it when your mind feels crowded again, when your heart feels heavy again, when doubt tries to speak louder than truth. Because this is your anchor now. My child, something greater is still unfolding. You have not seen the full picture yet. You have not experienced the fullness of what is being prepared for you. This is only the beginning. So stay close. Stay aware. Stay open. Because what comes next will reveal why this moment found you. And you will understand why this message was reserved only for you. My child, as this message settles into your heart, understand this: every word you just received is a seed. And seeds must be sown to multiply. When you choose to support this mission, you are not giving to a channel, you are helping light reach souls who are still in darkness, waiting for their moment just like yours. The word says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." And right now, that promise is alive, calling you into action. If you feel this message, say it within you: I am ready to be part of what God is doing. Because this is your moment to sow into something eternal. Every offering becomes a river, flowing into hearts that are crying out for hope, for healing, for truth. Do not delay this act. This is not just support, this is obedience. The PayPal link is waiting in the description, and the QR code stands ready before your eyes. Step into this moment and give as your spirit leads. And as you give, may your life overflow with blessings. May doors open before you, and may everything you release return to you multiplied.